Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Daisy. Today I'll be reading my subscribers' scary stories, so if you are interested, grab your snacks, grab your cobija, and let's get straight into it. So the story begins when I met my boyfriend, who is now my husband. His mother and his brother's wife are both involved in witchcraft. To give you some context, they did not want me in their family, since my husband was their financial support. I have lost 4 pregnancies because of their witchcraft, and they continue to curse me and send me demons. One night, my husband and I were sleeping, and suddenly he began to choke in his sleep. As soon as I turned around to see what was wrong, I saw a demon on top of him trying to take his breath. I was terrified but immediately started praying when thankfully this demonic being disappeared. My husband jumped out of bed scared for his life. Well, after this encounter, about a month later, I was sleeping with my husband and I woke up. I was looking straight at the window, and that is when I saw it again. The same entity was outside my window. This time, it told me that he wouldn't leave me because he was sent by someone. After these encounters, I started going to church and everything seemed to get better. I even was able to get pregnant and have my son, who is now 12 months. However, recently things started happening again. I began to feel nauseous and tired. Overall, just feeling sickly. I also began hearing the same demonic entity, but this time it sounded like it's getting closer to me. For example, 3 days ago, when I was getting ready to go to bed, I saw it looking at me, saying, "I can see you, and I know you see me. I won't leave this time." I immediately began praying so intensely that I fell asleep and I had a dream. In my dream, my grandma, who passed away 10 years ago, said to me, "Don't worry, I'm protecting you. Be careful with the 2 of them. Don't eat, don't drink from them." And that's when I woke up. After the dream, I decided to do an egg cleansing, and I was shocked at what I saw. I will attach the photos down below in which you can share. I see a dog on the bottom of the glass and a black demon. After the egg cleanse, I put hot paprika, salt, and pepper to send it back to the sender. I will start going to church again and speak to a priest to hopefully get rid of this. Another encounter I had was when I was watching TV with my little one in my room while my husband was sleeping. In my room, there is a door that leads to the backyard. That night, I heard 3 tap noises on my door, following dogs barking outside of my door. But the strange part is that I don't have any animals, nor do my neighbors. After hearing the sounds of animals outside, I started recording. Please put the volume maximum. Please tell me I'm not the only one that heard dogs barking and someone crying. After recording, I went outside to see what it was, but everything seemed normal. Well, after this night, I started seeing a little girl in my room, and it hasn't left. She only appears at night and goes away after I pray. I would love to get some advice from your listeners. Thank you. Back in 2015, I got really sick. At the time, I had no insurance and I couldn't afford a visit to the doctor. I thought it would pass, but every day I got worse to the point I could hardly stand. Just straining up hurt my back. The apartment we lived in at the time had the bedroom in the back corner, but you could see the front door from the bed. My husband and I had gone to bed and we were sleeping when it felt like I became very, very lucid. I was in my bedroom and I could see my husband and pets sleeping, and all was normal in my room. I looked over to the living room and I saw the front door open, and in walks my tío Tony. He had passed away a few years before, but there he was in person, in color, wearing the same outfit he used to love to wear. A button down, his black leather vest, the little wallet with the chain in his pocket. I was seeing him as clear as I could see my husband. I mean, crystal clear. Nothing remotely dreamlike. He walked through my apartment and over to my side of the bed, sat down and put his hand on my shoulder, and smiled down at me. He exuded such a peaceful feeling, like wherever he was had been, he was okay. I knew he was dead, but I was happy to see him, surprised he had come to visit me. He started to flicker in appearance, like he became more transparent as if he was fading. So I said, "Tío, quédate, no te vayas. Tío, stay, don't leave." And he became solid again and kinda laughed. I felt like he was playing a trick on me, so I said, "Ay, tío, no seas payasito. Ay, tío, don't be a jokester." But right as I said it, he smiled one more time before disappearing right before my eyes. That is when I kind of freaked out. It was as if I had been almost in a trance while he was there. But I mean, the fact I had just seen my dead uncle, did that mean ghosts were for sure real? The final shock was that when I touched the shoulder he touched, it was ice cold to the touch, while the rest of me was still hot from the fever. I couldn't sleep the rest of the night. I don't know if it was a side effect of being so ill or if he came to see me because I was in such bad shape. But it felt extremely real, like no dream or vision I'd ever had before. I had been sick for about 3 weeks at this point, and after that night, within 2 days, I completely recovered. Well, another time, I was home alone one day using the restroom. The toilet is right next to the tub, and at the time we had a shower curtain over the tub. The curtain was completely closed. There I am sitting doing my business when all of a sudden the curtain started slowly opening. And I do mean opening, not like a little rustling. I could see the indent in the middle of the edge of the curtain like it normally does when someone is opening a curtain with their hand. My heart dropped and I got that sick feeling, and I really felt terrified. I thought to myself, is there an intruder standing behind that curtain? And here I am in the most vulnerable of positions, and this person is probably going to kill me, and my husband is going to fight me like this. So it's like halfway open at this point, still slowly moving, and it took every bit of courage I had to get up and rip that curtain open the rest of the way. And when I did, there was nothing, no one there. I genuinely felt that I was losing my mind. It's like my brain just could not understand what had just happened. There was absolutely nothing that could have made that curtain move halfway through the tub when it was totally shut. To this day, I could not explain what could have caused it. On several occasions, I have heard my husband's voice and the sound of the front door opening and shutting, along with the dogs freaking out and barking like they do anytime the doors open or when someone comes home. So, of course, I come out to look for my husband, and to my surprise, no one is home. And on those occasions, I check the cameras, and not only is my husband's car not there, and never showed anyone arriving or opening the door or anything that it would explain the noises my dogs and I heard. I think it's safe to say at this point that I have some sort of sensitivity to the other side. I am sending these to you because you have a great following, and I'm hoping someone might listen and have advice for how to manage these situations, because though they don't scare me, I need help developing it. I would like to share a strange encounter I had with my parents while we went on a RV camping trip in Arizona. This night left us a bit shaken up to the point that we haven't gone to another camping trip since. So my parents and I love going on these trips. We love nature, and overall it's a great time and bonding experience for us. So we were really looking forward to this trip. Immediately when we got to the campgrounds, I personally had a strange feeling about it. I jokingly told my parents how it gave me creepy vibes, which it honestly did, but I just tried to brush the feeling off. My mom and I explored around a little bit, but quickly decided to head back to the RV since it started to get cloudy, as if it was about to rain. Well, as we headed to the RV, my dad looked at us with a strange expression on his face. He asked us, "Who was that?" My mom and I looked at each other, confused. My mom replied to him, "What do you mean?" That is when he proceeded to tell us that he saw a man walk back with us, but he turned back when he noticed my dad looking at him. My mom and I couldn't believe what he was saying because we hadn't seen anyone on the trail, so we nervously laughed it off as my dad just joking with us because of what I had commented earlier. But things got a bit more serious when we saw my dad not laughing. We told him that there was no one with us, nor did we see or hear anyone. My dad told us just not to explore the place without him anymore, which made us more scared. Further validating, my dad actually did see a man behind us. Now I'm thinking, great, it's just the first night here, but I still tried to make light of the situation to enjoy the trip. The second night, we started a little bonfire. We were sitting around with our pull-out chairs, enjoying the breeze of the night. The fire began to die out, and we decided it was best to call it a night. While we started putting things away, we began to hear what sounded like whistling coming from the direction of the woods. We thought it was strange since it was pretty dark out, and we hadn't seen anyone enter through the woods through our area. Although we found it strange, we ignored it, thinking it was another visitor from the campsite. As my dad began to close up the RV, while my mom and I were inside, my dad entered and said, "I saw the man from yesterday just now," sounding concerned. "He's just standing there," he continued. So naturally, I looked out the window to see, but I saw no man, and all the other campers were in their RVs, so no one was outside. At night, things get more creepy, so I was pretty scared at this point. My dad just tried to play it off, making light of the situation, saying that the man he saw was a ghost and just teased us about it since he saw we were getting worried. But that just made us more scared. Well, as we were getting ready for bed, I began to hear light tappings on the window. I started to panic, thinking this man my dad saw earlier was trying to break in. I quietly went to my dad and told him someone was outside tapping on the window. My dad grabbed his gun and headed outside to check it out. Meanwhile, I looked through the window, and on my end, I wasn't able to see anyone. My dad came back a few minutes later and said he saw no one. He went to see if any of the campers were out, but everyone seemed like they closed up for the night. Thankfully, after that, nothing else happened. We were able to rest, and on the following day, my mom decided it was best to leave that day. So the trip was cut shorter than expected. I recently asked my dad if he really believes what he saw out there was a ghost. He just said, "I saw what I saw." He described the man to be a tall, middle-aged man. I tried to look up if this site was haunted or if someone had passed away there, but I couldn't find anything. If you ask me what I think, I definitely think he saw a ghost. Hello Daisy. I believe my apartment that I recently moved into is haunted. The first couple of days, everything seemed perfectly fine. But as time went on, it's as if something woke up in the house. The first time I experienced something strange was after work while I was cooking. I began to hear as if a door was opening or closing, following by a door closed shut. I immediately went to check the rooms and everything was normal. So I just brushed it off and continued with my day. I have always loved living by myself as I love my personal space. But this next incident has truly made me consider having a roommate. I was in the living room watching TV, and from the corner of my eye, where my kitchen is, I saw what appeared to be a black shadow quickly pass by. I went to the kitchen to investigate, thinking someone had broken in, and on cue, the door to the pantry that was slightly ajar had opened. I turned cold, my legs feeling weak as I was stunned and terrified. I couldn't comprehend what I had just witnessed. I began to notice a foul smell filling the kitchen. I immediately felt nauseous, so I ran to the bathroom to throw up. I felt so tired and weak. I climbed into bed and prayed until I fell asleep. I woke up feeling somewhat better. However, I still felt uneasy to stay by myself. So I convinced my sister, who still lived with my parents, to stay with me for a while. Her company made me feel better, and the activity in the house seemed to have stopped, to the point my sister did not believe my apartment was haunted. She believed it was all in my head, that I was just being paranoid. Until that all changed for her. We were in my room, laying down on my bed. The door to my room was wide open, with the hallway light turned on. We were on our phones when suddenly the light to the hallway turned off. My sister and I began to scream, thinking someone broke into the apartment. That's when we heard what sounded like loud footsteps running into our room. We were frozen in fear, in disbelief of what was occurring right in front of us. We called our parents, crying, trying to explain what we had just experienced. So my parents came over and tried to find a logical explanation for all of it, but we weren't having it. So my parents told me it was best to attend church with them. And since then, I can say now that it definitely has helped with the activity in my house. So much so that my sister was able to go back to my parents' house. Don't get me wrong though, I do sometimes feel like I am being watched or hear strange noises here and there. But I just blame those noises on my neighbors for my peace of mind. Also, I now have a little fur baby, so he definitely makes me feel more protected and less alone. If anything else happens, I will make sure to write back in and update you. But I really hope I don't have to. Take care, girl. So that was it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you to everyone that wrote in their stories, your guys' stories, everyone's stories. I love hearing your guys' stories. They spooked me out, never fail in spooking me out. So thank you. And also, if you have a spooky story that you'd like to share with us, please feel free to send it in at daicyspooks@gmail.com. And I also want to say thank you to everyone. We hit 200,000 subscribers. That is insane. And it's all thanks to you guys. You guys made that happen. Thank you guys so freaking much. I've created friends along this way where I would have never met them, but I meet you guys and we click and we're talking about our weekend, we're talking about this, that, and that's the best part. Seriously, you guys. So you guys are not just subscribers, you guys are actually my friends, and I love that. So thank you guys so much. Okay, if you made it this far, mira, let's do an emoji in the comments. Let's put a little ghost. Let's do a ghost and I'll know you made it this far. Los quiero mucho and I hope to see you guys all in my next one. Love you guys. Bye.